What up, everybody? It's the Rottweiler Patriots. I'm Vegas. And we're coming at you with another video today where we're going to be doing our Super Bowl predictions. Me and T-Bone have been competing over the course of the entire season. And we entered last week with me up by one game. Last week, I went 1-1, and T-Bone went 0-2, which increases my lead to 2 games with only 1 game to go, which means that I am your 2023-24 season Rottweiler Patriots predictions champion. Let's get at it, baby! So, of course, this week it's just for the resume, I guess. I think we both have the same pick here, but regardless, I got the dub this year. The competition is officially over. Congratulations, T-Bone, on a hard-fought season. I didn't expect it to come down to the wire the way it did. I was kind of worried after, what happened with Kansas City that it might come down to the Super Bowl to determine who the winner is. More than a couple. I think you blew 2 or 3 4-game leads. Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, with that being said, I say we jump right into it. So, Super Bowl 58 will be the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the San Francisco 49ers in Las Vegas. The Chiefs coming off of a controversial win over the Baltimore Ravens, in which offense had a good first half, didn't do anything in the second half, and needed some serious help from the referees just to prevent the Ravens from coming back and winning the game. We did kind of give our thoughts on everything that happened in that game in a video released last week titled We Need to Talk. But the Chiefs able to get the job done with the fortunate circumstances that they were given in that game. Now, we look at the Chiefs as one of the teams in the Super Bowl. The thing that they have is that they've been here before. They're familiar with this experience, and, they're hungry. They win this, they are going to officially be considered a dynasty with, in my mind, a couple of massive asterisks. But that's still a big deal for Kansas City. The Super Bowl's always a big deal. The first one was just as big a deal to Tom Brady as the 7th one. That's just how it is. And so the Chiefs, lots of experience in this game. You know that Andy Reid, even if his offense is not playing very well, which quite frankly they haven't been, you know that he is going to have a game plan that's going to make it so that they'll be relatively successful for at least a portion of the game and get enough points on the board where if their defense can go to work, they'll be into it. Now, the real strength of this team is their defense. I think so far 4th best in points allowed over the course of the playoffs in NFL history. Up to this point, obviously, if the 49ers score more than 17, then, their average is going to drop. But still an impressive outing from the Chiefs' defense so far if you ignore some of the penalties against the Ravens that directly helped the Chiefs' defense. But that's the strength of this team. They also have really good special teams, one of the best punters in the league, one of the more reliable kickers, and of course Butker has been in the big moment before, so he's got a leg. They can trust him a lot. So from that aspect, the Chiefs do have a lot going for them. The other thing, too, is, of course, the Taylor Swift side of things, which the NFL can financially benefit if the Chiefs do well. So, we'll see. Now that it's the Super Bowl, I'm not exactly sure what the NFL's angle is going to be in terms of viewership, because, getting the Chiefs to the Super Bowl, they increase their viewers automatically. That's why you saw what happened with the officiating with the Ravens last week. And we're not saying they're rigging games, because guys want to win games, but they're going to influence them in a direction that they want if they can, which they did. So there's a couple of angles that you could come at from if you're the NFL thinking about the officials, which of course is, if the Chiefs win, are they going to be more back next year? Or if we make the Chiefs lose, well, maybe those Taylor Swift fans will be hungry for more and want to try to come back next year to win it. Like, there's different ways to think about this, so I'm not exactly sure where that advantage is going to play in. But also just the Chiefs becoming a dynasty, and then obviously, Roger Goodell's overall hatred, and sports media's overall hatred for Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and the Patriots dynasty. Any chance to crap all over them is a big one, especially since you already have people taking Patrick Mahomes with 2 Super Bowls. 2. And crowning him as the GOAT over Tom Brady with 7. We're not even saying, he might be better than Montana. We're already saying he's better now than Brady ever was, even though he never beat Brady. So there's a lot to consider in the way that this game could be influenced for or against the Chiefs. But the Chiefs still have a good enough squad. Like, if Mahomes plays well, or Kelsey plays well, they'll be pretty good if their defense plays well, as they have been. Even with the help that they've been getting from the officiating, the Chiefs' defense still has been pretty good and pretty tough to beat. So, you look at it from that aspect, they still have a good team. You can get all the officiating help in the world, but you still have to be a good team to make the Super Bowl. Now, let's take a look at the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers were the best team in the NFC for large portions of the year. It felt like we're the best team in the NFL. That kind of came crashing down when the Ravens blew them out. Brock Purdy, 4 interceptions, not his best game. But Brock Purdy throughout the playoffs has done a good enough job to get them here. Now, and I mean this with no disrespect to Brock Purdy, Brock Purdy isn't playing like an MVP quarterback like a lot of people are saying. Brock Purdy is playing well. He's not playing amazingly, but he's making the plays that the team is asking him to make, and then doing a little beyond that. They're making his life easier with Kyle Shanahan's great coaching. All of the weapons that they have. 2 things can be true. Brock Purdy can be playing well and doing what they ask him to do, and he could be getting lots and lots and lots of help from the people around him. And, you talk about Brock Purdy, the game manager, game changer, this, that, the other. You really have to ask yourself, if Brock Purdy was on a different team, if Brock Purdy was on the Lions, would he have taken the Lions as far as they went this year? I think the answer is no. If Brock Purdy was on a team like the New England Patriots, would he have been able to elevate them above the struggles that they had this year? The answer is hell no. So I think we can have a realistic discussion about who Brock Purdy is as a player without disrespecting him, because what he's done so far is still impressive, and it's hard for any quarterback to make it far in the league. Brock Purdy has shown that he is capable of making the plays that he needs to make without making too many mistakes that hurt his team. And at the end of the day, the 49ers are so well built as a football team on all sides of the ball that that's all they need him to be. There really isn't another team where he could be as successfully as other than San Francisco, which really just goes to show why San Francisco is here, is they're just that well built of a football team. The defensive side of the ball has been excellent for them. Made the plays they needed, got some big 4th down stops against Detroit last week that really won them the game, shut down Detroit all throughout the second half. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of that luck factor with some of the drop balls and and whatnot from Detroit, but they were able to make the plays that they needed to play to give their offense a chance to make a really good comeback. And now let's take a look at the 49ers offense. We talked about Brock Purdy before, but something that's been defining in the Kyle Shanahan era of San Francisco is their inability to play from behind. This is 2 weeks in a row now where they have been down by double digits and came back to win, to advance. So the 49ers not only know how to play with a lead and are built to play with a lead, they now know that if they go down in the game, they can come marching right on back. Their defense will be good enough to get the stops that they need to force the turnovers they need to make the plays they need, and the offense is able to adjust and operate at an elite level. Obviously led by, Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, all these guys, George Kittle. Great offensive line, and Brock Purdy back there doing the job that he needs to do. Kyle Shanahan running the plays. It's a beautiful thing. It's a well-oiled machine. It's a big reason why they're here. The 49ers are a much more complete football team than the Kansas City Chiefs. The 49ers offense is definitely better. I think the Chiefs defense is slightly better than San Francisco's defense. Now the coaching side, the edge definitely goes to Andy Reid. And then also you look at the Chiefs' defense, Steve Spagnuolo, who is a mastermind who doesn't get enough credit for what he's able to do. I mean, he literally cost my team the perfect season. I will never get over that. Has done a great job coaching this Chiefs defense. And, there's a reason they're there. He's a huge reason why that defense is playing as well as they are. So from a coaching perspective, the advantage goes to the Chiefs. From the offense and the offense, it goes to the 49ers. Defense, slight edge to the Chiefs, largely because of Spagnuolo. But the coaching offensively for both sides is great. Reid's a little better than Shanahan. Reid, quite frankly, might be the best offensive coach of all time. I mean, he consistently took Donovan McNabb very far. No disrespect to McNabb, but he's no Patrick Mahomes. So, there is a good reason why both of these squads are where they are. They're both in the Super Bowl. And, this is a rematch from 4 years ago. So, that both organizations have that winning mentality in them. They've both been here, done that, know what it's like to be in this moment, and are looking to win. Obviously, Chiefs looking for a dynasty. 49ers looking for revenge and to join the 6-ring club. So, obviously, a Super Bowl is a lot on the line, but a lot on the line especially for these two teams. The Chiefs get to cement themselves the dynasty, or the 49ers get to join the best of the best. T-Bone! I know I went on for a bit there, but I want to get your thoughts on this one. That one was pretty competitive, though. Although that was more the 49ers blowing a lead. Yes, I also don't think it's going to help that Joe Thuney is going to be out for Kansas City. That's definitely one of those things you got to look at is offensive line injuries. Thuney is a big loss for the Chiefs, so there's also going to be that injury factor. And of course, Kadarius Toney is back from injury, so that's 1 point in favor of San Francisco on that mark. I don't think there's really anything to look at that, especially with, 2 weeks of rest. I think if Chris Jones were going to miss this game, we'd know, and it'd be much more talked about. I would go so far as to argue that Patrick Mahomes was rather unremarkable in the conference championship game, and Pacheco was really the one who carried that offense. Now, well, that and the offensive line being allowed to murder guys on every single play. Of course, you see the screenshot of Patrick Mahomes' touchdown pass to Travis Kelce. You see the left guard is committing a hands to the face penalty, and the right guard is holding badly. That leads to Chiefs touchdowns. So there's also that factor as well. Yeah, I think that the San Francisco 49ers will also get the win this year. I think they're going to get revenge for the Chiefs. Now, obviously, these are two teams that have played each other before. The 49ers, I would say, are a better-built football team now than they were in 2019, and the Chiefs are a worse-built football team now than they were in 2019. And so, with as close as that game was, especially with the lead that San Francisco had over the course of it, I think that helps San Francisco. I think San Francisco are better offensively. They can beat you on the ground. They can beat you through the air. They're really, really good at adjusting. You saw they had a really rough first half against Detroit. They came out in the second half, dominated. And then you look at their defense. Their defense, not quite as good as Kansas City's, but still well coached, still probably more talent than Kansas City's, but the coaching from Kansas City, Spagnuolo, is just that much of a difference maker for them. But they got dominated by Detroit in the first half. They were able to adjust and completely shut down Detroit over the second half, get fourth down stops, force turnovers, came in clutch when they needed to. Now, obviously, we saw some of that with Kansas City last week with a bit of help. But given everything that we've seen, I think the 49ers are going to have that slight edge over the Kansas City Chiefs. But I do think, all things considered, we're in for a treat. Unless Kansas City wins, then it's not a treat, then it's just hell. But regardless, T-Bone, you got any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up? Alrighty then, please be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. We would love to hear what you all have to say. And that is going to do it for us today. Thank you all so very much for watching. Please be sure to hit the like button. Please be sure to subscribe. And we will see you all in the next video.